Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I wanted to share about anxiety in this video because I know a lot of people are experiencing it, and for myself, probably the first time, at least that I can remember, that I really started experiencing anxiety, I was 14, and when I was that young, what had actually happened was a huge hormonal upset, a huge hormonal episode, I'll say, in my life at that time. And what I experienced was nauseousness, terror, pretty much like really intense anxiety. Didn't want to wake up in the morning because of the fear and the terror. I was put on medication. Fast forward to, well, there have been lots of times in between now and then where I've experienced anxiety, but the most recent time I find the most fascinating because this is really when I got the most clear that anxiety is a program. It's not actually real. Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about the natural fear we have as humans if we would come into contact with a bear, for example. That is a fear that is for our protection. That's our primal instinct. Like, we don't need to be face to face with a bear. I'm talking about this anxiety that's triggered when you watch the news or when you see what's happening in the world. Or for me, it was when I woke up in the morning. I could feel this, it's anxiety, but I could feel a separation from it and my true essence. So I knew it wasn't mine, and I know it wasn't real. Now, I experienced it as very real. It was happening every morning, and the trigger for it was recently in these past few months. My life has kind of been totally turned upside down. Things that came out of the blue totally surprised me. Like this energy was coming at me that just totally shocked my system because I didn't know it was going to happen. So this, of course, led to experiencing anxiety. And the very interesting thing about it was I could feel the distinction of my essence and my energy and the energy of the anxiety. And if I could put a geometry to it, it was like, you know how Masaru Emoto presented us with these beautiful pictures of water crystals and how when they were blessed they had these gorgeous sacred geometries. Well, the geometry of anxiety was a very jarbled and discombobulated and kind of ugly, and I could feel it and see it coming toward me, and it wanted to take residence in my body. It wanted me to think that the anxiety was me. It wanted me to, take it on as if it were mine. But the truth is, I could tell it wasn't actually mine. And while everything that has been happening in my life, there was a certain amount of resonance there because what I'm going through is pretty scary. But I could tell that whatever fears I had around that and the anxiety coming at me, they were two very different things. Now, this is kind of high level because you have to have a lot of self-awareness. You have to really know your own essence and your own self, and that's why I'm always talking about how does it feel to be with your essence, because you have to have that as your foundation in order to be able to see through this. And I have a lot of compassion for people who haven't done that work, getting to know themselves, or maybe they haven't had access to that level of knowledge, and they're suffering in anxiety, and it feels like them. They literally think the anxiety is them. In some cases, there's cellular trauma there that resonates with the energy of anxiety, and so it magnetizes the anxiety to them. In a lot of cases recently, I'm feeling the technologies that are being used on us are producing this anxiety in the field, and we will only experience the anxiety as us if we resonate with it. So what I mean by that is, if you are experiencing anxiety and you think it's yours, it may be because you have the cellular trauma that's producing anxiety in your body, and so when the external technology produced anxiety comes towards you, you connect with it because there's a resonance. And so it takes a lot of inner work, a lot of inner awareness, a lot of conscious awareness to say, that's not my anxiety. I do not accept this program as part of my being. I do not accept this anxiety as me. I do not accept this anxiety in my field. I revoke any contracts I have with anxiety. Because part of what happens with this technology-produced anxiety, and I'm not going to name the specific technologies because Facebook won't like that and they will limit my video views. But this technology-produced anxiety, what's happening is it's being produced in the field and it's coming towards you, and if you resonate with it, you will connect with it and think or feel that it is yours. And it feels very, very real. Make no mistake, when you feel this anxiety, you may feel it in your body. You may feel it in your heart, in your gut, in your stomach, in your head. You'll feel it, especially if you're a sensitive one. But just because you feel it doesn't mean it's yours. And so if you are not revoking the contract with anxiety, you are unconsciously agreeing to it. And that's where it gets tricky, because most people don't have this knowledge that they can actually revoke the contract with it. And again, I'm talking about these technology-produced anxieties that are, being put out in our in the waves, in the atmosphere, so to speak, in the air. This is so massive. This is so big. If you don't revoke those contracts, you are subconsciously agreeing to it, and that's where most people don't have the knowledge. And so we want to get this knowledge out there that you can revoke your contracts with anxiety. You don't have to suffer from anxiety. You don't have to make it yours. You don't have to embrace it. And if you start to revoke the contracts with anxiety and you feel more of it, it means it's working. And it also means it's bringing any unconscious anxiety from your cellular memory into more of your conscious awareness. So don't despair. Don't stop revoking it. Keep doing it. And eventually it will help. And then if you need extra help with that, I'm here. We can do a session together. You can join the Creation Temple, whatever you need. But keep revoking the contracts. Now, I have a really powerful contract revocation in the Creation Temple. It is only for paid members, and that's because if you want to work with that contract, you really do need to have some level of support in your life first. It would be irresponsible of me just to put it out there. But a simple one that you can do: I revoke all contracts with anxiety. I no longer accept anxiety in my field. I no longer accept anxiety in my body. I no longer accept anxiety in my emotional field. I revoke any and all contracts I have with anxiety in this timeline and any other realms and realities. And just keep repeating that and really, really feel that. Like, you're not just saying it rote, you're saying it with a lot of intention, a lot of passion, and setting the firm boundary with it. And that's what I've been doing every morning when I wake up. And the last couple of mornings have been amazing. I'm waking up and I can sense the anxiety out there. It's like further away now. I can sense it out there and that it wants to come towards me, but very quickly I go into gratitude. Very quickly I go into revoking any contracts I have with anxiety, and it doesn't come. It can't get close to me. So this is also, please share. This is also why working on your frequency is so important. Why working with your frequency diligently and with discipline is so important, because the higher your frequency, the less this stuff can affect you. The higher your frequency, the less these artificial technologies, well, they're not artificial technologies, the technologies are very real, but what these technologies produce is in a way very false. So the less that stuff can affect you as you maintain a strong high frequency. And you know, it's not easy. We're bombarded with the false energies of these technologies, and they feel very real because they affect our physiology, they affect our minds, they affect our physical bodies, they affect our emotional bodies. So in that way, they're very, very real. But if you know who you are, if you know what your soul essence feels like, you can feel the difference between the truth of who you are and this artificial crap coming at you. So, this is so powerful when you can really get this, when you can really put this into practice and start seeing results in your life. It's super powerful and amazing. And I invite you to really practice this and continue to revoke the contracts that you have with anxiety. And you can use this for more than anxiety, you guys. You can use this for anything that's coming at you that's not real. All of the, well, again, I have to be careful what I say. All of this false stuff, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's anger, maybe it's, whatever's not truly you and your essence, you can revoke contracts with that. And I'm not talking about avoiding the lower vibrational emotions. You want to feel those, you want to allow those to flow through. If they're real for you, allow them to flow through you. You don't want to ever suppress your emotions. You want that flow to keep going. But with this artificially produced stuff, like this anxiety that I've been describing, it's nonsense. You don't need to feel it. And it does take a lot of work. Like, I really, really, really worked it. I mean, this has been months now, since like April. And we're in July now, so it took me that long. Of course, I had a lot of things coming at me in surprising ways that I wasn't expecting, so it was pretty intense. But you can do it. You just have to be very disciplined with it. Discipline is your ally. It's not a bad word. So thanks for joining me today. And yes, if you want to share this video, please do so. I know there's a lot of people suffering right now, and we don't have to be. And I know things are hard right now for some of you, and I feel you. I love you. I have a ton of compassion, especially because of what I've been going through. Anytime I'm going through something really intense, I have more compassion for others. So maybe that's why I have to go through intense things, so I maintain my compassion levels. I don't know. But anyway, I do know it's to develop my mastery. But yes, please share this if you like, and let's help lots of people. Let's get this message out to lots of people so that people don't have to suffer, and they can revoke their contracts with what's no longer serving them. So much love, you guys. Thanks for showing up today. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.